Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 7 of the Sports Wire. We now have a week's worth of episodes, Andrew.
Crazy. Whole week worth of episodes.
We're running a marathon right now. We're doing really well, actually.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. But yeah, episode 7, getting underway. Let's start it off with Sum It Up.
Hello and welcome to Sum It Up. For those of you who know, the NHL recrowned the former champion. The Florida Panthers have gone back-to-back, and they took Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final to win the Stanley Cup. They defeated the Oilers 5-1 in Game 6, win the series 4-2. Sam Bennett wins the Conn Smythe. Tyler, let me get your thoughts. I know we were both watching last night. Sam Reinhart with the best Game 6 you could ever imagine. 4 goals. I know 2 of them were empty netters, but
I call
4
it,
goals
I call
is
it 2.5 goals, personally. I mean, 2 of them were empty netters. One of them was pretty crazy, though. When it was at, the blue line.
Yeah.
And he, fell over, and he still made it. That was pretty dope.
And the first one, he made it in the air, beyond the blue line. They were both impressive empty netters. So.
They're both impressive empty netters, yeah. But, Edmonton, they just straight up gave up. I was really disappointed with how they played yesterday. I think Dallas would have put up a better fight. I think Dallas could have definitely forced 7. Just a lot of mental mistakes on Edmonton's part, not being able to decide a goalie. You go to Picard for one game, and then he sucked, and then you go back to Skinner. And you're obviously in Skinner's head now, so he sucked also. And then the only thing that was nice about it was seeing Brad Marchand hoist the Stanley Cup again. It's been a really rough couple of months for Boston fans. In the span of, I think 5 months, we saw Marchand get traded, Devers get traded, and Tatum tear his Achilles. So, it's not been necessarily the most ideal time to be a Boston sports fan. But, seeing one of, our legends hoist the championship trophy again, that was nice.
Yeah, seeing Marchand lift the cup made me smile last night. It was more of a sad smile, but it was still an awesome thing to see. You mentioned that the Oilers kind of gave up. I agree that the Oilers definitely showed signs of slowing down, but I think that was just because the Panthers I think the Panthers are just better. The Panthers are the best team.
I have one thing I want to say, but I'm going to save that for Would You Rather, because it has to do with one of my Would You Rathers about the Stanley Cup. But shifting into that, so obviously Stanley Cup's over. We can't watch any more playoff hockey. That really sucks. But we can keep watching playoff basketball, as in Game 5 the other night, Oklahoma City went up 3-2 in a 120-109 victory over the Indiana Pacers, where Pacers looked really bad, and OKC was led by Jalen Williams with 40 points, and SGA tagged along with 31. So now, Andrew, J-Dub is sneaking in there for Finals MVP now with a 40-point game. I think he had another 30-piece a couple nights ago as well.
He did.
We got Game 6 tomorrow night. We're filming this on Wednesday. Game 6 is going to be Thursday. So it's going to be back at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. You think Indy has any shot of forcing this 7, or do you think OKC has pocket aces?
I think it all depends on one man, that's Tyrese Halliburton. We saw that he went down the other night. Shams reported that he had some calf tightness, calf soreness. He's still in question about whether he's going to play in Game 6. I think if he does not play in Game 6, then I think OKC wins by more than 20. I think even if he's healthy to play, I still think OKC is going to take this. OKC has all the momentum right now, but it's going to be packed. It's going to be loud in Indy. Hopefully Indy can build off the crowd's momentum. Maybe they'll force it to Game 7. I hope they do. I would like it to go to Game 7. I would like to see a series go to Game 7. And I think if the Thunder do win, I still think Shea would take Finals MVP. I think the NBA would give it to Shea, and Shea has also had multiple 30-point games, multiple double-double games. Last night he had 31, 10 assists. Jalen Williams with a 40-piece, though, definitely.
Anytime you drop in 40 in the NBA Finals, you need to get your recognition for Finals MVP.
Definitely something special.
I definitely don't think it's going to be a clean sweep. I think J-Dub will definitely get some votes. And there's 2 things we have left on Summing Up. One of them I want to get to because it caught us off guard as we were prepping for the show. Jair Alexander just signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens. So the Ravens are going to continue doing what they do and sign superstars that might be washed, might not be. We don't really know with Jair because he hasn't really seen the field a lot lately. But, we're going to get Jair versus both Jamar Chase and DK Metcalf 2 times a year now. So, Andrew, what do you think about this?
I think it definitely boosts Baltimore's secondary. As we know, Baltimore already had one of the better defenses in the league, but now you pair up Jair Alexander with Kyle Hamilton in the backfield.
Marlon Humphrey as well.
Marlon Humphrey, yep. I think the Ravens have a star-studded backfield, star-studded front 7 to go along with borderline MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson. I mean, he didn't win it last year, but he's won it multiple times before. So I think the Ravens are definitely, obviously, the team to beat in the AFC North. I don't think any other team, the Bengals, Steelers, or Browns, have a shot at making the playoffs. I think if anyone's going to be the Bengals, but Ravens are going to dominate the North. AFC is definitely between three teams right now, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. I don't see anyone else even contending for the Super Bowl as of right now. But I think that just gives the Ravens another boost to finally get over that hump, make the Super Bowl.
I think it's now or never for the Ravens. Like,
It has to be.
everybody only gets older. Like, you don't know how much of prime Derrick Henry you're going to have left, even though this guy is, like, aging like the best wine ever made right now. Lamar will obviously be Lamar, but mobile quarterbacks don't last as long as pocket QBs.
I think the Ravens' window's open for 2 more years. I think they have two more chances to make it and possibly win it. Because they still have never – Lamar's never been to the Super Bowl.
He's never been to the Super Bowl.
Ravens still need to just get there. The Ravens are kind of reminding me of the Winnipeg Jets of hockey, the 76ers of basketball. Just that team that's always contending, has some stud players, dominant in the regular season, can never make it in playoffs, never in crunch time.
That's a good comparison right there. And speaking of not being able to compete in crunch time, the Yankees, or should I say the Jankies, have now lost 5 in a row and haven't scored a run in 29 innings of play.
Yep.
I mean, like,
3 straight
now,
games,
now the AL
29
East is
innings.
looking wide open, if you ask me. So, like, what do you do right now if you're the Yankees?
I think if you're the Yankees, you just got to get the bats going again. I mean, it's
It's
the
a lot
Angels.
easier said than done, though.
It's a lot easier said than done, but we're talking about the Angels, who have shut them out twice in a row. And the Angels have not shut many teams out this year.
They have not, no.
Not much of a bullpen over there in Anaheim. And the Yankees, it's not even like the Angels are batting very well. I think the score's like 1-0 and 4-0. I think today the Yankees bounce back. But as you said, the AL East is open for anyone except for the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees are 42-30. Rays are in second, 40-33. Blue Jays right behind them, 39-33. Red Sox, I don't know how, but they've played a lot more games than these other teams. They're 38-37. Rays are 2.5 games back. Blue Jays are 3 games back. Sox are 5.5 games back. All 4 of those teams, all it takes is a win streak, and they're getting boosted right back up. As we know, Sox just came off of a 6-game win streak that got snapped last night because of
We'll get to
horrible,
that.
awful.
We'll get to that.
We'll get
and
into
stock,
it later.
and
But
stock up, stock down, that's for sure.
I imagine the Red Sox get back on track tonight. Crochet's on the bump. I imagine the Sox take the series, beat the Mariners, and they'll face Devers coming up, which I'm just
I'm excited.
so excited
I'm
for.
excited to see the Sox face Devers.
But right now, I think the Orioles are the only team with no solution that will not be taking the AL East. But the other 4
Unfortunately,
teams,
I agree with that. Like, Adley hasn't been great. Gunnar hasn't been great.
no, they've both actually been super underwhelming.
That is very true. AL East continues to be the best division in the entire league. It's close, but it's not really that close. NL West is pretty good. NL East is always really good, but I think the AL East is as best as you get.
I think the NL West is the best division in baseball. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I wouldn't say I would say that if they didn't have an ugly duckling, and they have a really ugly duckling in the NL West, so I can't
But
put
the
them.
Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, and the D-backs, those are
I know
4
but
really
you
good
gotta
teams.
have 5 teams that can compete, and the
Yep.
in the AL East pretty much does have 5 teams that can compete,
Yeah.
and then the NL East even does too with the Phillies, the Mets.
The NL East is good.
NL
Well, the
East.
Nationals are now on a
The
10-game
Nationals
losing
are on
streak.
a 10-game losing streak. That does suck.
And
for
when the
them.
Braves are good, I agree. The NL East is stacked. But right now,
Oh no, the NL East has an ugly duckling also. The
yeah,
Marlins.
The Marlins. Well, the
So-
Marlins. Actually, no. Yeah, the Marlins are terrible.
Marlins
They did
are-
beat the Phillies yesterday, though.
They did beat the Phillies yesterday. You're stocked up, Philadelphia Phillies.
I did. The Phillies won Game 1 of the series, but they lost Game 2 of the series. Game 3 of that series is tonight, and then the Phillies take on the Mets. So the Mets have now lost 4 straight. So all of a sudden, the NL East
Flipping
starting to look
upside
like the AL East. Both East divisions are from New York teams losing.
There you go. New York teams in pinstripes. Can't count on them.
So yeah, as we itch closer to All-Star break, it's going to be fun to see how the divisions kind of sort themselves out, because there's a lot of divisions that are like set in stone. Like the Tigers are going to take theirs.
Tigers taking the Central, that's for sure.
Yeah, but there's also divisions like
Te-
the AL East and NL East.
Texas might take the AL West. Don't
Texas could take the AL West. Houston could take it. Most
know.
divisions
The
are up for
Mariners
grabs.
could take the AL West.
Most divisions are up for grabs right now. So
I think both Centrals are locked down, and that's it.
both
AL
Centrals.
Central is
Yep.
going to go to the Tigers. The NL Central is going to go to the Cubs.
It's going to go to the Cubs. I agree. But both Wests and both Easts are up for grabs.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun to see how those line up.
So yeah, that's all for Sum It Up today. It's a little shorter segment today.
Shorter
Not
segment
having a
today.
guest, but me and Andrew, we can do our fair share of yappage, and that's going to get
course.
real intense later in the episode. We got a brand new segment for you guys coming up right before everybody's favorite. But next, let's get into another old reliable. Let's go stock up, stock down.
Let's go.
Welcome to Stock Up, Stock Down. Andrew, my first stock up today is going to be Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder. In the Western Conference Finals, he didn't look that great. He put up some stinkers right now. He's bouncing back. We just saw him have a 40-point game. He's averaging over 20 right now in these NBA Finals. He's only 23 years old, and he just put up a 40-point game in the Finals. That's really good for him. He's just, bumping up that number of a paycheck he's going to get more and more right now. Jalen Williams, I'm going to have him as my stock up. Playing really good basketball, shooting the ball really well. What do you think on that?
I think Jalen Williams is starting to turn heads. People who might have heard his name, known him as like a role player on the Thunder, starting to turn heads, starting to realize that he's not just a role player, that he's starting to become a star, potentially a superstar, depending on what happens once his contract expires. Because as we've talked about multiple times now, the Thunder are going to have to re-sign Chet and Jalen Williams in the same time. They're not going to be able to afford both of them. They're both going to be worth way too much. So the Thunder are going to have to make that really tough decision to sign one and release the other. And regardless of who they keep, Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren are going to gain a bigger role, whether it's in OKC or whether it's somewhere else. So I think we'll be able to see Jalen Williams' full potential on either another team or on a Chet Holmgren-less Thunder where he has more ability.
I agree with that. But yeah, they're going to get hit with the second apron worse than the Celtics are. Personally, we've mentioned that a lot too. I mean, like, you just have so many guys that are going to get big contracts, like we saw with Boston. Like, Caruso's probably going to get a bigger deal now, seeing what he brings to the team. They were able to steal Hartenstein, which was pretty good for them too. But like, Cason Wallace is making a name for himself. Aaron Wiggins making a name for himself. So they're going to have a lot of guys that are going to want to get paid, and they're just not going to have the money to pay them.
Yeah, they have some tough decisions to make, but the toughest is definitely between Holmgren and Williams. And I know that both times that we've talked about this, we've said that we would keep Holmgren. Not so sure anymore. Williams,
not so sure right now, yeah.
Williams is starting to show that he can play when it really matters.
He can, yeah. But then you just look at Chet, and he's so valuable on both defensive and on the glass.
I know. It's a tough decition. I'm not sure where Sam Presti all of them are going to go.
I'm just glad I'm not Sam Presti. It might be from the same state as him. I'm just glad I'm not him.
It's a tough one. So that's a tough one they're going to have to figure out in the future. But Jalen Williams, an amazing stock up because he's playing amazing right now, but the best of him is yet to come in the future. You guys will all see it. Jalen Williams is going to have some star-studded moments in the future.
Easily.
My stock up is a very similar player who has a lot more global recognition, and I know she's definitely at her peak in terms of popularity. We're talking about Caitlin Clark.
Absolute dog.
For those of you who did not see it last night, Caitlin Clark played a game against the Connecticut Sun. And last night she had a 33-foot three. I believe she had 20-something points. In the fourth quarter, some players on the Sun were shoving her, getting all up in her face, and one player even shoved her completely to the ground and tried to step over her.
She was savagely attacked.
Yeah,
and she somehow got a technical for it.
Yeah, she was pretty much jumped, and this happens all the time. I've seen compilations now of Caitlin Clark getting shoved to the ground, stepped over, like scratched, hit, all sorts of just terrible things.
This was a big topic I talked about with Will a lot last year. I think a lot of it, unfortunately, has to do with the fact that as men and women are different, women just tend to get jealous.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's not like a problem or anything. That's just how things go. People get jealous. Everybody wants to be the face of the league. And you look at the NBA. When you got, not old guys, old heads were different, but when you look at like players in the same age range, when like LeBron was coming up, people were embracing LeBron. Wemby's draft class, they're all saying like what Wemby's doing now is going to be great for us as other young players helping us get contracts. I don't think they all see this as Caitlin Clark's going to help grow the league as a whole, which is going to lead to larger like salary caps for teams, better treatment, better hotels, better charter flights, stuff like that, better equipment, and not having to rely on the NBA as much. And even with these first couple of years of Caitlin Clark, the league still loses out on money and still has to be funded by the NBA and still can't stand on its own. But if you're doing stuff like this, trying to knock out the face, we saw what happened when Caitlin Clark was just out with her injury for 2 weeks. The ratings declined by over 50%, and that wasn't even a Sentinel post. That was a real thing.
It was a real thing.
Ratings were down by over 50% because your face of the league wasn't there.
So, yeah, the WNBA needs Caitlin Clark, and the players so far don't necessarily understand that. They want the attention.
They all want to be the face.
I mean, plain and simple, Caitlin Clark is just better than they are.
Dude, I think
that's why they get viewership. Clark is.
If she was on the Pacers right now, I think she'd be putting up good numbers in the finals.
I mean, right now she's averaging 21, 5, and 9, which all three of those are league-leading stats, not necessarily rebounds, but 21 points is in the top 5, and she's second in the league in assists. Yesterday, she hit a 33-foot three-pointer over the same girl who pushed her to the ground. And then when the Sun called a timeout, Clark ran around the court, hyping up the crowd, going like this, getting the crowd to go crazy.
I mean, I'm glad that she's finally.
So-
I'm glad
so
she's finally
tough.
standing on business. Because like she used to just like make the players get a little excited, but now she's just embracing it. It's like they're all
Yeah,
gonna
she's
hate her, and then
embracing it.
she can just be better than them.
She's shooting 40% from three, which is by far the highest in the league. Angel Reese is shooting 34% from the field, by the way.
Yeah.
Clark is shooting 40% from three. And the Fever now have a winning record. They're 6-5, a winning record for the first time. And I can't even tell you how long, Tyler. The Fever have been just like the bottom of the WNBA for so long, and now they're starting to rise.
They got their two girls. I was gonna say they're two guys, but now it's their two girls. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are doing wonders for that franchise right now.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it. So now, Andrew, we hate getting into stock down, but this guy's been pissing me off for a long time, if I'm being serious. My stock down's Walker Buehler yesterday. In the Sox matchup with the Seattle Mariners, Buehler gave up 8 hits, 8 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings worth, and he gave up what is now the league-leading home run to big dumper Cal Raleigh with a grand slam with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. So Walker Buehler, I mean, should have just kept him as a bullpen piece. He was way better when he only threw like 1 or 2 innings, not when you send him deep into games as a starter. So, that signing's not really working out for the Red Sox. Should have kept him in L.A. But yeah, Walker Buehler, my stock down, pretty plain and simple. Hasn't been good all year.
Yeah, perfect stock down. Throwing Buehler in the rotation, I don't quite understand. He's been shelled multiple times by teams. Cal Raleigh, as you mentioned, extending his home run counter to, I believe, 27.
Yep.
Which is absurd, and he extends his RBI count with a grand slam.
I got to chime in real quick. This might be a hot take. I think Cal Raleigh's MVP over Judge.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
That's my take. You can disagree with me if you want, but I think Cal Raleigh's MVP over Judge.
That's a good take later. Once we get more takes going, we'll call that eventually. But Cal Raleigh's had an amazing season, but Walker Buehler is just god awful. I think this has happened how many times now? I mean, he really puts the emphasis in Walker Buehler. I mean, how many walks did he have yesterday? I believe it was over.
I think it was 4. I want
Yeah.
to say it was 4 walks.
And he played 3 innings?
Yeah, a little over 3. He went 3 1/3.
So that's awful.
That's pretty bad.
Pitiful,
That's
actually.
really bad if you ask me.
I mean, going from Walker Buehler to Garrett Crochet day to day, it's gonna look amazing.
That's
to
going to look
us,
really
but,
cool if you ask me.
having 4 walks in 3 innings, including giving up a grand slam, is just awful. Buehler's terrible, and if we want to talk about other pitchers in the rotation, Tanner Houck has not been very good.
Tanner
this
Houck
year.
actually tonight is in a rehab assignment. And you know who he's facing on the other side?
Who's that?
Max Scherzer.
Really?
So we got a AAA matchup between Max Scherzer and Tanner Houck. That should be interesting.
That should be interesting. Well, Houck needs to get better because he played amazing last year. I don't know what happened, but Walker Buehler has been terrible for a while now. He's way past his prime.
I think when Buehler got Tommy John a few years ago, I think that killed him.
That's what
unfortunately.
did it. Yep. My stock down is a franchise, and I know this is going to sound kind of obvious given they lost last night, but I'm going the Edmonton Oilers. But my reasoning is not necessarily part of it is because they lost the finals, but I'm talking about the future here. The odds that the Oilers come back to the Stanley Cup Finals is very slim. I do not see the Oilers
Very low.
making a comeback, getting to the finals anytime soon. Their chance was these past 2 seasons, and they lost both. Connor Brown, Evan Bouchard are both free agents this year, both a part of their defense. I imagine they re-sign them, but if they don't, those are 2 big defensive losses. The Dallas Stars are going to be back next year. The Winnipeg Jets will be back next year. The LA Kings will be back. The Vegas Golden Knights will be back. The Western Conference is a gauntlet. And the odds that the Oilers, the oldest team in the NHL, are the ones who make it back for a 3rd straight year,
Very unlikely.
so unbelievably slim. And I would love it if McDavid and Draisaitl make it back, because McDavid and Draisaitl are both top 10 NHL players. McDavid is number 1. Draisaitl is somewhere in the top 10 of most skilled players. But these other teams are just better than the Oilers.
Straight up.
That's why the Panthers won. The Stars are better than the Oilers. I know the Oilers dominated Dallas this year, but give Dallas another chance next year. Give Winnipeg another chance. If Winnipeg can lock in and finally perform well in the playoffs, if the Knights get back to where they were a couple years ago, now the Kings are getting up there. And I heard the Kings might sign Mitch Marner from the Toronto Maple Leafs. If that happens, the Kings are all of a sudden a front runner to win the Stanley Cup. The odds that the Oilers get back to where they were is very slim, which is a shame because McDavid and Draisaitl are both in their prime right now. McDavid's 28, Draisaitl's 29. There is not too much time left. You have a couple more years, but these are the 2 years to do it, in my opinion. I imagine they could get back eventually, but Next year, the year after, I don't think so.
I think the real issue is goaltending, one, and then defense, two. Even though you said, like, Bouchard and the other guy are really good. What was his name? Connor Brown?
Yeah.
You said they're very good, but, like, it's the lines that really suck. And, like, obviously not all of it's Skinner's fault, but, like, I think you need to find another goalie somewhere out there in free agency. I don't really know who is a free agent, per se, but I think you got to find a new goalie, find some defensemen, because and you might need to get more offensive players. Because after McDavid and Draisaitl go off the ice, you really don't have an offense.
No.
You can't rely on an ancient Corey Perry.
McDavid and Draisaitl do have time. I think Corey Perry, I heard he's a free agent this year, and he is re-signing. Draisaitl, I heard, is getting ready to sign an 8-year deal with Edmonton. So Draisaitl will be here to stay. McDavid has 2 years left on his contract, but I heard that he will potentially re-sign. It's too early to tell, but I heard that Draisaitl will be back. McDavid, I imagine, will be back. But right now, I don't see the Oilers going back. Certainly not next year. I think the West is just too good. But
Yeah,
once a couple of these other teams on the West maybe slow down, lose a couple of players, kind of fall off, maybe the Oilers can sneak their way back in, give it 2 or 3 years. But this year was the year to do it. Last year was the year to do it. And they just couldn't get the job done. So my stock down is the Oilers, given the fact that I don't think they're going to be where they were.
That's a very valid stock down, Andrew. And, I mean, I don't think it gets much worse right now, like losing Stanley Cup back-to-back years. The only way it gets worse is if you're like the 90s Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And you lose the Super Bowl.
You got to
4
do
times in a
that
row.
for 2 more years.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll get to that because I don't think they'll make it to the top
I don't think
next
so
year.
either.
But, yeah, anyway. Pretty happy and pretty sad stock up, stock down because, you never like to see, like, your own team or a team that's just fun to watch get put in the stock down. But then when you're seeing guys do really good, like J-Dub and Caitlin Clark, brings your spirits back up a little bit.
It does. It does. So that's going to do it for Stock Down. Now it's time for our third segment, Would You Rather. Welcome to Would You Rather. Me and Tyler each got 2 Would You Rather questions. Tyler, I'm going to let you start.
All right, Andrew, so my first would you rather kind of can't really happen anymore, but we're just going to look at it in a hypothetical scenario.
All right.
Would you rather Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose win a ring?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I think I would rather see Westbrook win a ring, I think.
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with you here.
Oh my goodness!
I was a
that's
big.
that's like my off-rip answer. I
was a Derrick Rose kid, so
I was too.
I have to go with Derrick Rose just because the story and all that.
Derrick Rose was one of my first jerseys.
But I love Russ too. This is really hard, but
like Russ in OKC was such a fun time. He deserved it.
Derrick Rose was one of my favorite players when I was in like elementary school, so I think I have to go with Derrick Rose winning a ring.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Derrick Rose too, but I think actually.
Right after D Rose, though, it's Russ. Right after him is Russ. Harden, no. PG, no.
Westbrook has dealt with so much hate from people.
He has.
Westbrook has dealt with so much hate. His family has dealt with so much hate.
He has, but.
And I think that it would just be right that he could finally get a ring.
It would be like
I think it'd be so rewarding.
It'd be the icing on the cake for Russ, personally. But
I'm gonna go with Russ, I think, man, because
that's such good reasoning. But for me, like Derrick Rose has had so much personal trauma in his life.
Me too.
Multiple knee injuries,
yep.
Thrown around from team to team, getting traded from the Bulls, then finally having his comeback where he had the 50-point game. Every time he's in Chicago, he gets nothing but love.
Yeah.
They had a Derrick Rose day. They announced they're going to retire his jersey number this coming season. I think the only thing that would have iced his career is if we ever got to see Derrick Rose hoist Larry O'Brien trophy
that would have been
in
awesome.
a Chicago uniform.
I wanted Denver to win this year so bad, though.
Yeah,
just because I wanted to see Westbrook hoist it. Because Westbrook had one of the greatest seasons in NBA history with OKC. Durant completely ditched him, and then once he started to get passed around by NBA teams, fans started hating on him, calling him Westbrook. And then Westbrook had to share the story that he's had to make his kid switch schools because his kid was getting bullied because of Westbrook's his playing.
Yep.
So I think I got to go with Westbrook. I think it'd be so awesome for the entire family if Russ was able to get a ring.
Either one of these guys, like Russ can still do it, so I'm obviously pulling for that.
Yeah.
But if I could have ever got to see D Rose win a ring, man, I would have loved it.
So my would you rather also involves Derrick Rose. My first question. So mine is, would you rather give Derrick Rose a fully healthy career, or would you rather keep Kawhi Leonard 100% healthy starting from 2017?
Give Derrick Rose a fully healthy career, man. Like, I love you, Kawhi. You're awesome. And he even got a ring after 2017. So
he did.
You know what? He's fine. Give Derrick Rose a fully healthy career. Tibbs, take him out of the game.
Does Kawhi go to the Raptors, though, if he's fully healthy? If Kawhi never gets hurt, does he just stay in San Antonio?
It's a good question.
Is the DeMar trade stupid for the San Antonio to accept if Kawhi never gets hurt? Because that's the thing.
I would say so,
The
yes. 'Cause I
storyline.
think they were going to take down the Warriors that year.
They were. The Spurs were studs that year. I would think this is tougher than you would think because obviously on like the personal level we want to see Rose, but like think of how good Kawhi was.
I think
in
Kawhi
2014. Like
coulda,
that was
like-
the Kawhi that LeBron saw and was like,
I think Kawhi could have blossomed into like a top 20 player of all time if he stayed healthy. But
I
we
would-
could have been having like top 10 point guard conversations for Derrick Rose, man.
Man.
If he got a fully maybe top 5 if he got a fully healthy career
I
and
know.
never had that first ACL injury, dude.
Who knows what the Bulls would have done in the early 2010s?
I
Could've
think
given Miami a
the
run
year
for their money.
Rose went down, I think they could have pulled it off. Like I really think Chicago could have given Boston a run for their money. I think they could have messed with anybody in the East
It's tough.
if they had their guy.
I think the Bulls could have done it, but I think the Spurs could have done it more. The Spurs could have done it multiple times beyond that one.
That's
they
a
got with Kawhi.
really good one. Like it is.
Kawhi was so
like
good.
Kawhi was one of my favorite players too in like the 2010s. But Derrick Rose, man, he just made me so happy watching him
Yeah.
play. I need to give him a fully healthy
I
career.
might go Rose too. I have a Derrick Rose jersey. It's like a kid small.
You gotta
I-
keep that forever, dude.
Yeah.
So
That's so tough because Kawhi was so good.
my second would you rather involves hockey.
All
Would
right.
you rather, as you said, his contract expires in 2 years. Would you rather have McDavid sign that extension and stay with Edmonton for the long haul, or would you rather him request a trade and go to an every year contender where he doesn't have to where his team doesn't give up on him like we've seen the past couple times?
I don't know if I'd want to see McDavid go to an every year contender because then it would feel kind of like Kevin Durant where it's not totally earned. I would
Yeah.
love to see McDavid win a ring with Edmonton. I wanted it to happen this year so bad because it'd be so like it would kind of look like Gretzky almost if McDavid was able to do it with the same team Gretzky did, and the
Yeah.
fact that he's one of the greatest players ever. It would just be awesome if he was able to stay loyal, give Edmonton that ring.
Yeah, it's really tough because
I would absolutely hate to see McDavid go to like the Knights and then just
I
like
would just hate it because the past 2 years I've watched Edmonton give up in that final game.
I know.
Like they just stopped trying, and McDavid was doing everything he could to help his team win, and every other person on that roster wasn't contributing nearly as much as
Imagine
he was.
seeing McDavid go to the Panthers though.
Man.
That would be the worst thing ever, I think.
Don't
I
go
would
to
hate
anyone
that.
but the Panthers. Don't do that.
I mean, that's what Durant did. Durant went to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Imagine McDavid went to the Panthers or he went to like I don't know,
Dallas,
like Dallas or something like that.
man.
I would kind of hate that.
Don't pull like a full KD, but I think he would need a change of scenery.
Believe me, I want McDavid to get a ring more than anyone, but I would much rather see him earn a ring instead of leaving to go get one.
I agree with that.
If he went to a mid-market team that wasn't great and then helps them get a ring, that'd be cool with that.
I think I'd have to go with him staying, even though I really want him to leave. I think just him staying and hopefully getting a ring out of there
It'd be so
would be
it'd
just so rewarding.
Awesome. It'd be like Westbrook winning with OKC, but if Westbrook was like a top 10 player of all time.
Yeah, top 5.
All right, so for my second, would you rather? It's not player based; it's like personal based. So, would you rather? Hypothetically, you're an MLB pitcher. Would you rather win 3 Cy Youngs, have 0 rings, be considered one of the greatest pitchers of all time, or be a solid rotation guy with 4 World Series titles? You don't go to the Hall of Fame, but you're a solid rotation
I
guy.
don't go to the Hall of Fame.
You win 4 World Series, or win 3 Cy Youngs, you're a Hall of Famer, don't win ever. But like, if you're a solid
Tough.
rotation guy, you're gonna get remembered. You're gonna get remembered
Yeah.
by the team and by
All
the
right, yeah.
fans.
Just because you said that, I'm going solid rotation guy because I'm thinking like being like a Tim Wakefield type of dude,
Exactly.
like
yeah.
someone that was just loved by
like Tim
everybody.
Wakefield, because I think Tim Wakefield, he's not in the Hall of Fame, right? And
He's not in the
I
Hall of
think
Fame.
he
Like,
will.
The Tim Wakefields, the Brandon Crawfords, even though he was a fielder. The Brandon Crawford, Hall of Very Good type of player. I don't know.
Exactly,
I don't know if he'll be a Hall of Fame. I think he should be a Hall of Famer, but I don't know.
I think Wakefield will go to the Hall of Fame. A mix of he was good and a mix of he
Now,
has
yeah,
passed away.
like Varitek maybe, because I don't know if Varitek will make the Hall of Fame. It's gonna be close to Varitek.
So would you rather be a solid rotation guy or would you rather be a legendary
Solid
pitcher?
rotation guy, because I'll have the rings. I could be like Scal.
Yeah,
Like
pretty
Scal
much.
was bad, and Scal was making plenty of money off the Boston area.
Yeah, I think I would also rather have 4 World Series titles because winning a World Series is different than winning a Cy Young.
Commissioner's Trophy, man. I love hoisting that thing. And I
What,
might not be a
have
Hall
you
of
done it
Famer,
before?
but I was always solid.
Yeah.
I was always solid. No, I've never been in front of any of the trophies, actually. My parents never took me to do that stuff when our teams were winning. It was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I've seen the Lombardi trophy, and that was it.
I've seen the Larry O'Brien from far away.
Yeah, so did I. I saw Jason Tatum holding it in front of me like this. Like
I
he was
also
holding
saw
Stanley
that.
Cup.
I took a picture of him doing it.
So did I. It was like right after right after I dropped my phone on the ground because someone shoved me. But
that happens.
Never gonna see that guy again, so I don't really care.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for Would You Rather. But don't go anywhere because we got more scenario questions with Final Roster.
Welcome to Final Roster. So Andrew, my category for Final Roster is staple moments. This is gonna be very career-defining moments for people. So start, bench, cut, return to glory. Tiger Woods, Messi winning the World Cup, or Cleveland, this is for you.
Wow. Okay.
I bring the heat. I bring the freaking heat.
So LeBron beating the Warriors.
Yes.
Messi winning the World Cup, or Woods coming back to win the Masters.
Yes, that is the scenario here. Return to glory, Cleveland, this is for you, or Messi winning the World Cup.
Wow.
Start, bench, cut.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
I got a little inspiration off the shirt today. This is Messi brand from Old Navy. Yeah, Andrew, I want to mess with your brain and just make you make the hardest decisions possible. This is what I do.
off rip, I'm thinking I'm cutting Tiger Woods because
I was thinking that also.
Because LeBron to Cleveland was his first with Cleveland, and Messi was his first World Cup.
Yeah.
Because it was Tiger Woods, I think fifth.
But
it was such a good comeback, and it was
something crazy like that.
I can't cut Tiger Woods though.
I have mine, unfortunately.
What's yours?
I think I'm starting Cleveland, this is for you. Just because you know the story. It's such a fond memory for me watching that happen. 2 is Messi winning the World Cup, because he's literally the greatest we've ever seen play soccer. And I think I have to cut Return to Glory, even though it was such a magical moment for Tiger Woods' career and the game of golf in general. Like, Cleveland, this is for you, like LeBron bringing a championship to his hometown team, and then Messi, obviously.
Like, that's a good point. It is literally LeBron's.
Messi winning the sporting world's biggest honor.
Messi's number 1 for me.
Messi's okay. That's
I'm starting Messi. That was literally one of the greatest things to ever happen. Messi, who's one of the most universally, because soccer is by far the biggest sport, one of the most universally loved people of all time, winning his first World Cup in his later years against the evil former champion Team France with the current best player in the world.
With that best player in the world having a hat trick.
I have to go with Messi. I have to go with Messi.
So you're gonna
go.
So start Messi.
I'm starting Messi, and I can't decide whether I want to cut Tiger or LeBron.
Just because of the meaning behind I think LeBron's meaning meant more than Tiger's, even though Tiger's was obviously crazy. But
it was the whole story of how Tiger won it too. It was what was it 15 years apart from his last one. Not 15. I think it might have been less than that, but
then LeBron he was up.
It's his hometown. He came back after
played the greatest regular season.
I'm gonna go LeBron second because of the entire story, and I have to cut Tiger. I'm sorry.
Dude,
that's so bad. That's so terrible.
This is what I try to do in Final Roster. I got to make you think.
I knew I had to start Messi, but deciding to cut Tiger or LeBron was so tough. That's so tough. All right, so from my Final Roster, we're going to baseball here.
All right.
We're gonna go to pitchers. So start, bench, cut, all in their prime. I'm gonna list stats for you.
Okay.
Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, or Max Scherzer.
I knew Scherzer was coming too. Damn.
So Clayton Kershaw, 3-time Cy Young winner, always elite in the regular season. Had the lowest regular season ERA out of these 3, but postseason struggles for him. Kershaw was never that good in the playoffs. His career high of strikeouts in the game is 15. Justin Verlander, also a 3-time Cy Young, 2011 MVP, AL MVP. His career high is 15 strikeouts in the game. Verlander, much better playoff pitcher than Kershaw.
Very good.
Max Scherzer, also a 3-time Cy Young winner. All 3 of them have 3 Cy Youngs. He has the MLB record, 20 strikeouts in a game. He has a World Series. He was known for pitching decently in the playoffs.
Verlander has a couple of World Series too.
That's what I mean. Verlander's got World Series. Verlander and Scherzer
Scherzer has one, right?
Scherzer has one. It was with the Nationals. He did not win with the
And
Tigers.
Kershaw has two.
Kershaw has two, yes. But Kershaw was not necessarily the
Okay.
driving factor behind
Off the
them.
bat, I'm starting Verlander.
You're going to start Verlander?
I'm starting Verlander, yes. Only one to win an MVP, I got to start Verlander.
That's fair.
I think due to how much of a factor he was to the 2019 Nats, I'm going to bench Scherzer and I'm going to cut
You're going to cut Clayton Kershaw?
His curveball would fold me like a lawn chair, but like I need postseason. I need someone to deliver when it matters most. And Scherzer was a key piece.
Yeah.
Like he didn't win.
He knew how to.
He didn't win World Series MVP. It went to another pitcher actually, Strasburg.
Yep.
But Scherzer was such a key asset to that team, so I'm going to start Verlander, bench Scherzer, and cut Clayton Kershaw.
This is so tough. I think
this is like the big three of our childhood era.
it is. It's the three. I think there's a chance I'm starting Scherzer here, because Scherzer was consistent but so was Verlander. Verlander won the MVP in 2011, but then was one of the best pitchers in 2017 when he won the World Series.
Mm-hmm. And he won with the 2022 Astros too, right? So
yep. Yeah, I gotta go. So I think I'm gonna do the same as you. I'm gonna start Verlander, bench Max Scherzer, cut Clayton Kershaw.
I mean, Kershaw. All three of these guys are first ballot Hall of Famers.
All three of them are in the Hall of Fame.
First ballot Hall of Famers, no doubt. But Verlander's gonna be like the most guaranteed, like prime of their career.
Verlander is gonna go down as one of the greatest pitchers ever.
Prime Justin Verlander is a top 5 pitcher of all time.
I agree 100%.
Easily. Prime Justin Verlander. I believe he has a perfect game to his resume, or no? I know he has some no-hitters. I don't know if he has a perfect game.
I don't know if any of them have a perfect game.
I don't think any of them do, because the 2010s was very difficult for a perfect game. We had like
Jake Arrieta did it.
Jake Arrieta had a perfect game. Dallas Braden had a perfect game.
Dallas Braden did have a perfect game. The King.
King Felix had a perfect game. What's his name? Matt Cain had a perfect game.
Yep. Yeah, none of these three did it, but they're three of the greatest pitchers ever.
Three of the greatest pitchers ever. They all have multiple no-hitters.
That was a tough one. I can't believe we're cutting Clayton Kershaw just because of how good Clayton Kershaw was.
Me neither, dude. But like one always has to go.
That's what has to be done. So yeah, that's gonna do it for Final Roster. Now it's time to move on to a new segment, the Hall of Knowledge.
Welcome to a brand new segment, Andrew. What's this one called again?
This is called Hall of Knowledge.
Hall of Knowledge. Welcome to Hall of Knowledge. So right now you're gonna see on the screen in between me and Andrew, there's going to be a Sporkle game. Andrew, this is the all-time NBA leaders in points, rebounds, and assists. Each category by itself, right?
Yes. So the top 50 in each category. So
me and Andrew are going to try and knock this out. We have 20 minutes to do it. We're going to try and do it in under that. So, let's get started. Andrew, down.
So the way this works, just for heads up, it doesn't really matter too much. But so, for example, if we type LeBron James, which is the first name that we will type because he's the all-time leader in points, it will automatically put LeBron James in the rebounds and assist category. So if you only type LeBron James once, it shows up all 3 times, so we don't have to type it again.
Yeah.
So we just have to start typing names, and they'll just kind of fill it in. It's not going to be in order.
Do you want to try and go in order of points, or do you want to just, and then they'll just show up over here too?
I say we try to go in order.
I say we go in order of points. We don't have to do the other one, but points is the one everybody cares about.
Yes. So our timer is going to be, it says 20 minutes, but we're going to give ourselves 10 minutes.
All right.
For the sake of the episode.
Yeah, that's fair.
So are you ready?
I think if we're close enough, we finish it out, though.
3, 2, 1, go. So
let's go.
Start off with LeBron James. We'll just type in the last name.
Let's go Kareem.
Oh, we gotta spell it. There we go.
Let's go Malone.
That fills out Moses and Carl. That's huge.
Bryant.
Kobe. That's not how you spell Bryant.
There we go. Michael Jordan. Dirk. Sixers Wilt.
Yep, there we go.
Thunder KD. Lakers Shaq. Nuggets. Is it Carmelo Anthony?
It is Carmelo Anthony. That is who it is.
11 Rockets.
I imagine
it's James
Hakeem
Harden. No, because it has the star, so that means he's current.
You're right.
Bullets. Elvin Hayes. Rockets Olajuwon, I'm assuming. Yeah, I think you got to type in Olajuwon.
Olajuwon. There we go.
Royals
Robertson. There we go.
Only Royals player you can ever think of. Hawks Pettit.
That's not
Dominique
Pettit.
Wilkins.
I think it is Dominique Wilkins. Yep, there we go.
Spurs, Tim Duncan.
Celtics. This is Bird.
Bird, maybe. Oh, no.
Pierce.
Yeah, that's probably Pierce.
Celtics
Havlicek,
again.
HVI. No, HVLICEK.
There we go.
Thunder, Westbrook. Typed in Jerry West as well. That just happens.
There we go.
Timberwolves, Garnett. Is the Raptors. Vince Carter.
I think Carter, yeah.
Nuggets, Alex English.
Good pull. 80s legend, Alex English.
All-time leading scorer in the 80s, by the way.
Steph.
Yeah, it's going to be Curry.
And then it's going to be Kawhi, I would imagine.
No, DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan. What a pull.
25th all-time in scoring, DeMar DeRozan. I love to see that. Reggie Miller.
Yeah, probably Reggie. Knicks, Ewing.
The Bucks.
Ray Allen.
Playing. Oh, there we go.
What a pull.
Sixers. Irving.
Or Iverson.
Either one. So it's going to be AI.
Sixers again.
Sixers again.
Barkley. Celtics.
This could be literally anyone.
Let's go Russell.
Bill Russell, yeah. I was just about to say. We haven't said him yet. Oh, well,
He's
that
up there,
filled him up there.
Let's go McHale. Nope.
Cowens?
No, Cowens wasn't really a
He
scorer.
wasn't really a scorer. He was a
He was
rebounder,
a rebounder, though. Kuzi.
Hey, he got it for assist.
Celtics again.
We said Pierce, Garnett, and Allen. They're already gone.
They're all gone. Sam Jones.
Nope, not Sam Jones.
Walton. Maybe.
Bill Walton, not a bad shout.
Parrish. Parrish. That's definitely what it is. Parrish played for.
Robert Parrish.
Played for forever.
There we go.
Utah Jazz. Stockton. And if it's go Stockton for now.
And that's gonna fill him up at the top too. Well.
Pistol Pete.
Maravich.
No,
not Pistol Pete.
Oh, no, it's not gonna be Darren Williams.
Darren
Adrian
Williams.
Dantley.
Good pull.
Okay.
That's Wade, I would imagine.
Yep. Lakers.
This could be anyone, but let's go with like
Say Worthy.
I like Worthy there. Nope.
Mikan. Oh.
Not Mikan either.
Oh,
Gasol possibly.
Gasol, good pull.
No, he's on there, but he's lower.
Is it Jamal Wilkes? ES.
You're right. Nope.
Clippers right now, that's probably Paul George.
Chris Paul possibly too.
Oh, yeah.
Could be Chris Paul. Yeah, that is who it is.
So
Blazers, that's Lillard below.
Yep. Who is this Laker, though?
I'm not sure. Below him, I think it's Drexler.
Trying to think of the Lakers' retired numbers.
And then below that is Sean Kemp.
No, it's not Jerry West.
Not Kemp.
Elgin Baylor. That's who it is.
Elgin Baylor. There we go. That's got to be it. There we go. All right, now we're on the Sonics.
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton's a good one. Good shout. There we go. Sixers.
Dr. J, right? Oh, is it Mo Cheeks? Oh, he's an assist there, though.
He's over here.
Billy Cunningham? Nope.
What if it's like Embiid?
No way.
We guessed Dr. J, right? We already said Irving.
Yep. But Dr. J got a lot of his points in the ABA.
That's true.
Knicks, is that one Willis Reed or Clyde Frazier? Oh, it's neither.
Neither, really. That's a tough one. Let's go. I see Ginobili and Tony Parker. Really? That's not
you didn't spell it
Ginobili?
Ginobili is spelled Ginobili, but it's not him.
Still not him either. Well, Tony Parker's
Tony
got to
Parker.
be.
He's an assistant.
not either
Oh,
of
David
those.
Robinson is who that one is.
Oh, yeah.
Trailblazers again. Oh, Bucks now, Giannis.
There we go. Kings and Hawks. For the Sixers.
Oh, this
number
Spurs is
41.
George Gervin.
Iceman. Iceman George Gervin.
Kings, is it Chris Webber?
No. Yeah, it's spelled with two B's, right?
Yep. Hawks. Hawks.
Cal Korver.
No way.
It's not Cal Korver. Actually, it was 50th
Let's
all
take
time.
a look at these rebounders, shall we?
Yeah, let's get into the rebounders.
Orlando Magic. Huh. I'm just gonna
Dwight
take-
Howard.
Oh, yeah, Dwight Howard, good pull.
Warriors, number 11.
Thurmond.
Nate Thurman. There we go. Knicks. We already said.
Tyson Chandler.
That's a good shout, Tyler.
Oh, he is
He's
down there.
here.
As a Knick,
That's
too.
a good shout, though.
Bullets, Wes Unseld.
Unsold.
Knicks.
Blazers below that.
Knicks. Oh, is it Dave DeBuscher? I don't know how to spell his last name.
I don't either. Let's just go with Dave. Nah.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
Trailblazers. I'm just going to put this guess out there because he was tall.
Mark Eaton.
No.
Not a bad shout.
Oh, Manute Bol. Start naming tall guys.
He didn't play for very long.
Yao Ming, even though he only played 8 years. M. King.
M. King.
Uh,
Also didn't play for very long. Down here, Nuggets, that's Mutombo, I'd imagine.
yeah.
And then Celtics below that. We already said Cowens. We already said Russell. Already said Parrish.
I said Parrish, said Walton.
Not totally sure. We have a minute and 15 left. Want to dabble in the assists a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's go Williams.
Kid. Oh, Buck Williams. Good pull right there for the Blazers.
There we go.
Suns, Nash. Oh, you got to get rid of the D up there.
Oh, my bad. Steve Nash.
Knicks.
Walt Frazier.
No,
Wait,
no,
we already
Mark
s-
Jackson.
I mean, yeah.
Mama, there goes that man. Lakers.
Magic.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, we never guessed Magic
Pistons.
for the scoring either. Was that who that was?
Definitely. Isaiah Thomas.
Oh my God, Joe Johnson is
Joe
who we were
Johnson.
missing down there.
Joe Johnson's top 50.
Joe
all time.
Johnson is the 50th
Wow.
highest scorer ever.
Pistons, Isaiah Thomas.
Thomas, yep.
Bullets. Oh, I know this guy. Dang it. Celtics, Archibald. I mean, he was there as a king.
It's lower.
Celtics are sisters.
Raptors, is that Lowry?
There's no way it's Rondo, right?
Cal Lowry's 19. Oh, it definitely is Rondo.
Wow.
It definitely is Rondo.
Rondo is 15 all-time in assists.
That checks out. That makes sense.
Trailblazers. It's not like Damon Stoudemire, is it?
I know we're past 10 minutes. We'll go to 8 minutes. We'll go to 8
We'll go to
minutes.
8 minutes. Yeah, screw it.
Hmm.
Oh, is McAdoo one of these rebounders, I'm guessing?
Yep, that's a good one. Bob Mackett.
Oh,
Really?
he's not. Maybe Lanier.
I don't know how to spell that.
Oh, wow. I just can't spell. Yep.
There we go. He's down there. Current Piston, Andre Drummond.
Good pull.
DeAndre Jordan's in there. Current Jazz, Gobert.
Yep. Yeah, look for those current ones. Current Magic.
For
Current Timberwolves, too.
Where do you see current Magic?
Current Magic is right here.
Oh,
42.
yeah.
Current player that used to play for the Magic. I don't know.
I don't either.
Looking at these assists. Wizards, was one of them Wall? No way, right? Oh, wow,
Wow.
it is.
Pelicans current.
Pelicans current, Holiday.
Drew Holiday's 34th all-time in assists.
Hmm.
Grizzlies, Mike Conley.
Yeah, duh. Is Horford one of these, perchance? He just played for forever, I would assume. Wow.
No Horford. It's a shame. The current Magic and current Timberwolves are both stumped.
I'm just going off of like how long.
Oh wait,
this guy
Timberwolves.
played.
Go Kevin Love, maybe.
Oh yes, good poll, Kevin Love.
There we go. But current Magic.
Nuggets. Oh, what's his name? Dan Issel. Is that one of them? Nuggets players.
I like the shout. Current Magic is really throwing me off.
Is Amare?
Stoudemire. That's a good one.
Am I spelling it right though?
I don't know.
Nope.
All right, we're past 8 minutes. I think we're gonna call it here. 112 out of 150. In
Not
12
too bad.
minutes. Not too bad.
Not too bad for a
So let's take a
Hall of
look.
Knowledge. We were one
We
below.
missed Jerry Lucas over here. Hal Greer. LaMarcus Aldridge was.
LaMarcus Aldridge is top 50 in points.
I mean, he did play forever.
Mitch Richmond.
Nikola Vucevic is 42nd all time in rebounds. That is crazy.
That's weird.
Ben Wallace we missed.
Camby.
Scottie Pippen in assists, 38 all
makes
time.
sense.
Nick Van Exel.
Starberry, we could
Baron
easily.
Davis. Rod Strickland.
Tim Hardaway.
Muggsy Bogues. Derek Harper.
Nick Van Exel. Baron Davis.
Dang.
We could have gotten a lot of these. We could have done a lot better on that.
We could have done better, but still.
70. Oh, so we got above average.
We got better than the average
75%.
score. It's always what we aim for.
So I mean,
whenever we do this, we're always going to aim for 80%. Let us know what you guys think you would have got, or if you've done this before, let us know what you did.
Let us know like another topic you want us to try. Like we're not going to just do basketball. We can do football.
Do any sport.
If we do hockey, he'll probably carry, but I'll play a helping hand, I guess. But yeah, let us know. That was our first time doing Hall of Knowledge, and Andrew, I really liked that. Actually.
I did too. Let us know what you guys think of the Hall of Knowledge. Is that entertaining, or would you rather see other segments?
I enjoyed Hall of Knowledge.
I had a blast doing Hall of Knowledge. I hope we get to do it again soon. I think we definitely will do it again soon.
For sure.
But now it's time for On the Clock. So let's send it to On the Clock. Hello and welcome to On the Clock. Everyone's favorite segment, On the Clock, is always a fun time. I got to pick the category today. Tyler, the category today is the hardest venues to play in sports, the hardest places to go and play if you're the away team. It could also be like best places to watch a game, like the loudest places, hardest places to play in sports. The limit is a maximum of 3 colleges, five spots for each of us, max of 3 colleges. You can do less if you want, but Tyler, you have the 101 here.
So you said I can do like niceness. I'm only gonna go off rowdiness personally. So you were messing with my brain a lot when we started, but I think I have my number 1 pick. Give me the Big House for the Michigan Wolverines as the 101.
I like the 101 there.
I don't know if I just blew it or if you're gonna get the one that you wanted. I was torn between that and another one, and I'm gonna see if you pick this other one. But yeah, give me the Big House. So the 100,000 person capacity.
The Big House has the most seat capacity in North America. Holds 110,000 people. The Big House is on my notes. It's not necessarily my number 1. My number 1, gonna go down to the swamps of Louisiana, Death Valley, LSU Tigers. Yeah. By far the hardest place to play in all of sports. Every NFL player that was in the SEC has said that LSU Tiger Stadium is the hardest place to play. Always the loudest. Whenever it's a night game, they get night games every year. Hardest place to play. The most fun to watch on TV too. Death Valley has to be my number 1.
Easily. Now with my number 2, I'm gonna go back to college. This is really off of like a couple games during the year, but give me Beaver Stadium specifically for the Penn State's whiteout game.
I love it.
One of the coolest traditions in all of sports. Seeing the entire student section rocking the white. Everybody rocking the white. Yeah. Even the players on the field. Now they're gonna have a game versus Oregon this year, I think, for the whiteout game. Yep. Give me Beaver Stadium.
Whiteout versus Oregon, late September, starts at 7:30. Finally a night game for the whiteout. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, we already talked about this. Penn State's win the Big Ten. Happy Valley was going to go number 2 for me as well. I think that's generally one of the hardest places to play. I mean, we all remember the Mo Bamba game versus Michigan.
The Mo Bamba game was crazy.
I get chills every time I watch that clip. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Now we're going to switch to basketball, but we're still going to go college. Cameron Indoor, home of the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, I had Cameron Indoor there as well.
One of the hardest places to play in sports, the hardest place in all of basketball, NBA or college. It is a small venue.
It's a very small venue, but it packs a punch.
holds 7,500 people. But if you look at pictures, the stands are quite literally on top of the court. If you are playing in the game, you look to your left, you look to your right, you look behind a hoop, there are fans on top of you screaming. It is one of the hardest places to play, one of the most electric places to play every year. Duke is always going to be good. Next year, Duke's going to be a star-studded team with the Boozer twins. It's going to be electric next year to watch, too. One of the hardest places to play basketball.
All right, Andrew, Cameron Indoor Stadium, I mean, doesn't get much better than that. We've heard stories about, like, J.J. Redick when he was playing there at Duke, what the fans would say to, like, North Carolina fans and all that. But my next pick, I think I got to go off of, like, the pure craziness that can happen if the team is rolling in here. I want Citizens Bank Park as my next one. Easily the most rowdy stadium in all of the MLB. Sorry, Fenway. Sorry, Yankee Stadium. Citizens Bank Park sealed the deal for me when I saw no commentary when Bryson Stott hit that grand slam. And the stadium one when he came up to bat was singing his walk-up song.
Yeah, it's electric.
Which was I forget what the song's called.
I mean, we know Philly fans are just crazy.
Philly fans are crazy in general, but that whole singing the song and then when Stott crushed it out of the stadium,
so dope.
The stadium could have collapsed because it was so loud.
The Phillies playoff environment it doesn't get much better than that. And like I said, the Mets go to Citizens Bank in a couple days. That's going to be so much fun to watch.
It's going to be a crazy
between
series.
the Mets and the Phillies. With my third pick, I am going to take advantage of college while I have the chance. My third pick, this is kind of tough. There's a lot of options that I could go here, but I think I'm going to go with Kyle Field, home of Texas A&M.
That's a good one.
One of the biggest stadiums in college football, holds I believe 103,000. They always do what's the name of the song? I'm blanking on it. Power. They always play Power for the walkout. They did it versus Notre Dame this year. I don't know if you've seen that video of the one of the students who was filming on the field when they walked out to Power. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. Got to be one of the hardest places to play, man. Kyle Field. It's the home of the 12th man. The Seahawks have the 12th man, but it came from Texas A&M. Texas A&M has the original 12th man. So I got to go with the 12th man at number 3.
So I think I'm going to just take my last college right here with this next pick. I just wanted to get the bank because the bank's always bumping.
Yep.
Give me Bryant-Denny Stadium, home of the Crimson
Tide. Great pick.
Home of the Crimson Tide.
Great pick.
You know, you've seen how crazy Bama fans get.
Yeah. When Dixieland Delight gets playing, it's you know you're in for a treat.
Don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. So yeah, give me the home of the Crimson Tide.
Home of the Tide, Dixieland Delight. Bryant-Denny, another one of the biggest stadiums in North America. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable SEC place. So now I'm looking at professional teams here. And I'm going to have to go with the place that holds the Guinness World Record for the loudest game ever. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium. Loudest recorded decibel in professional sports history, 142 decibels.
Yeah, that's insane.
I've seen some crazy comparisons of how loud that actually is. But, yeah, give me Arrowhead Stadium. Hardest NFL stadium to play in my opinion. That's why part of why the Chiefs are so good. They never lose in Arrowhead.
My last one. This stadium has literally given professional athletes nightmares and made them talk so much crap about this fan base. Give me TD Garden, specifically for the Boston Celtics, can be for the Bruins too. You got the fans talking the most amount of junk out of any team to the players, getting in the players' heads more than anybody, firing up both the home team and the away team to play better. So give me TD Garden. Doesn't have a lot of capacity, but I've been there for some hype moments. It gets loud in there.
The Garden gets loud.
It gets roaring in the Garden.
Especially during playoff season, you do not want to be an away team in the Garden. No, Celtics, Bruins, it's an advantage for sure. One of the biggest advantages you can have in all sports. Mm-hmm. So for my last pick, we are going to go with hockey, and we're going to go the Canada Life Center, home of the Winnipeg Jets. Mm-hmm. Definitely the loudest place in hockey. Every time when they get the whiteout for the playoffs, it's unbelievable. The Winnipeg Jets whiteout, obviously not the Penn State whiteout, but for what hockey can do, it's as loud as it can get.
I had Canada Life Center as one of my honorable mentions here too. So
Andrew, let's hear some.
I think we had some really good matches. So
I think these are the loudest
my team
places.
Was the Big House, Happy Valley, the Bank, home of the Crimson Tide, and then TD Garden.
Mine was Death Valley, LSU, Cameron Indoor, Duke basketball, Kyle Field, A&M. Then Arrowhead, the Chiefs, and then Canada Life, Winnipeg.
So one of my honorable mentions, first up and foremost, was Lambeau Field.
Yep.
Obviously,
Lambeau Field's electric, especially when it's sub 20, it's snowing, and you see Packer fans shirtless. They're crazy.
Lambeau Leap doesn't get much better than that. Then I had Fenway in the 2000s.
I had Fenway in mine
Fenway
as well.
in the 2000s specifically, not
I
so
had
much
Fenway
now.
in mine as well.
I had the Lenovo Center, the home of the Carolina Hurricanes. I had
That's
to
a
look
good
that one
one.
up before
Yep.
the show. Hurricane fans are crazy.
Yeah, Hurricane fans are loud.
Then my last actual venue is one that probably should have gotten picked personally, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think MSG is as loud as the venues we said, though.
Yeah,
MSG is famous for
so
sure.
iconic. Fans are crazy out of there.
Actually,
I think
Knicks fans are loud. Knicks fans
I
are
do
loud.
think
So are
the
Rangers
best fans that could be in there just can't afford to be in there because it's so expensive to buy tickets for those events.
Yeah.
And then my last one, this was the one I was complaining about. I was staying anywhere where LeBron plays.
Just wherever LeBron plays?
Yes, if you have to play against LeBron,
Yeah.
just because LeBron has a herd of fans now.
It actually is insane how many people follow LeBron everywhere he goes.
So yeah, those are some of my honorable mentions. What are some of yours?
So the 3 college limit really got me because I would have gone all college if I could. Allen Fieldhouse, home of Kansas basketball, was in my honorable mention. It pained me to have to not pick him, but I had to take Cameron Indoor just based off of the fact that at Allen the fans are louder than Cameron Indoor. That's not even an opinion, that's literally a fact. But Cameron Indoor fans are actually on top of you, and you can hear everything they're saying to you. If you're passing a ball in, they're closer than the distance between you and I right now. So I had to go with Cameron Indoor. Allen Fieldhouse, as I mentioned, the Horseshoe, Ohio Stadium, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, holds over 100,000 people as well. That one was close. And then Lane Stadium, home of the Virginia Tech Hokies. Enter Sandman. Every time it happens, there's always a registered earthquake on the index. Every time that they walk out to Enter Sandman. Such an electric place. Even though the Hokies are not good right now, I wish they were. It's Lane Stadium is so electric. I've been to a game myself in Lane Stadium.
That's the beauty of college.
Oh my goodness, Enter Sandman was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in person.
It's the beauty of college sports, man. One year you can be bad, the next year you can be awesome. Thank the transfer portal for that one.
Yep.
But I mean, Andrew, another good category right there.
Another good on the clock, man. Another good on the clock. Let us know who you think had the better team.
7 for 7 now and on the clock.
7 for 7.
But yeah, we've got big game coming up tomorrow night.
Big game coming up for the NBA Finals. We will be covering that.
Could be the clincher.
Stay tuned for the next episode though, because we have a little surprise.
Yeah, you might
ready
see,
for you guys.
You might see a little familiar face, but that's all we can say about that now.
Yep, that's all we got for right now on the Sports Wire. Week's worth of episodes done. That's lucky number 7.
There you go.
So stay tuned for episode 8. We got a big surprise coming. That's gonna do it. See you next time.
Yeah.